So, a couple days I posted a video just talking about the last two episodes of The Mandalorian Season 2, giving my thoughts on it. At the time, I didn't really know much about the possibility of the Boba Fett spinoff thing, so I didn't really have much thought on it at the time, and I've been hearing some different stuff about it now. Also, at the time of doing the video, I had mainly only watched the two episodes to do a video on the two episodes, so yeah, I kind of had to shoot from the hip with that one. But I've had some time to think about it, and yeah, I thought I'd just give my thoughts on the Boba Fett spinoff, the book of Boba Fett, based on what I've been hearing. And so far, I'm still confused as to what it's actually about. It's either going to be about Boba trying and his adventures in the underworld or the criminal underworld, trying to become like a crime lord, or I'm still uncertain about it. Other versions I've been hearing is that it's going to be about, no, it's not going to be about an older Boba Fett. It'll be about a younger Boba Fett showing whatever they have planned. And I still am not certain which one is true. Either one works for me, to be quite honest, because we know what Boba was like in the expanded universe. We knew what he was like in that direction, and we're never going to see that in live action, I guess. So all I can really do is look at this new direction they're going with him with an open mind and see if I like it, give it a chance. As I've said before, I'll say it again. Anything with a Fett in it gets my money. If it's about Jango or Boba, I give a shit. And yeah, I thought I would just go over some other stuff. One thing I am hoping that does happen is, well, I kind of want to see if they'll explore more about the Fett history, like before and after the Clone Wars, because they gave hints that Jango may or may not have, like before the tragedy episode. It was always, oh, Jango wasn't a real Mandalorian. He was either a faker or a fraud, or he just stole the armor, or he may have just gotten it by dishonorable means. Or that maybe at one point he had some kind of connection to the Mandalorians, but he ceased having that connection. And now it's, oh yeah, no, Jango was a foundling. He was a Mandalorian. He fought in the Mandalorian Wars, which, yeah, it's taken right from Open Seasons. In fact, Din Djarin's origin is basically just a kind of a copy and paste of Jango's origin. But I would like to see if they would do more of that, like have Boba sort of learning about his heritage or more about it. Maybe he becomes curious while he's, if it's about him as a crime lord or becoming one, or just building his own little faction in the galaxy in the criminal underworld. Maybe at one point he takes a break from that just to, because some information comes up that makes him interested to learn more about his heritage, where his father came from, what happened to him, or if it's about a younger Boba Fett, then they could still do that. Actually, that would make more sense if it's a younger him, and he's just making his way in the bounty hunter world, and he's still growing into that armor. Maybe he becomes curious to learn more about his father, and he has that chain code, so that could have instilled him to learn a little bit more about his father and where he came from. But for the most part, I'm on a wait and see policy to see where they go with this, because this is still Disney, and I do not trust them. I would sooner trust John Wayne Gacy with a bottle of Viagra and a children full of choir boys. Oh, no, not choir boys. RazorFist did the joke. I would sooner trust him with a bottle of Viagra and a room full of school children before I trusted Disney with Star Wars, let alone to do it right. And I know it's dark, but that's how little trust I have in Disney. In my defense, just want to make that clear. Also, kind of joking. Well, yeah, mostly joking. As for the other shows that they announced, and the Book of Boba Fett was actually the only one they kept a secret, but the other ones are kind of new with me, except for the Bad Batch one. I never saw the Clone Wars, so I didn't see the last season, but the Bad Batch kind of sounds like it could be like the Clone Commandos, and I think it's supposed to be taking place after Order 66. So it could scratch that the Republic Commando 2 left behind because it was never finished. And since I'm still reading the Clone Commando books, I have no idea what they did in the expanded universe, and it might be interesting to see what they do to explain what happened after Order 66 in the Disney timeline. Plus, there's Fennec Shan in it, and she's kind of an interesting character. Or supposedly she might be in it. There's a character that looks like her in it, so that could be good. And plus, this does kind of sound a little bit to me like the Clone Commandos in some way. Only more special forces and more weird. The only difference is they don't have a possible sociopath for a sniper. Actually, they kind of do. The difference between him and Sev, though, is I think Sev had a bit of a more likable personality. But yeah, that could be interesting. There's also I think, Republic Rangers. I might watch that. Except for the Ahsoka one. I never watched the Clone Wars, so I never got the appeal of her, I guess. Well, I kind of do. They sort of built her up over time. They did with her what people say they didn't do with Rey. They kind of built her up. Like she had to progress, grow, evolve as a person. But yeah, I wouldn't watch that. The only other one I have some interest in is, and I don't know if this is in the Ranger one, but I think there's a Cara Dune one coming out. I might watch that. I'd watch it to see if I like it. Because half the time I have no idea what I like. I actually have to sometimes try things out to see if they're good or not. But back to Boba Fett. It would be interesting to see if he is becoming a crime lord, how would that affect him? How much are they going to change his character a little? Or are they going to... What's the consistency going to be? Because he's always been a bounty hunter. I would like to know what motivated him to go from bounty hunter to crime lord. Unless he's just decided, you know what, I'm just going to build an organization that can help me be a better bounty hunter. Or he wants to train other bounty hunters in the criminal underworld. Or he has some other motivation. I would like to know what his motivation is for this. And what compelled him to go back and kill Fortuna, I think was his name. Mainly I just want to see the direction they go and if it's good or not. Because like I've said in the past, I am a huge Fett fan and anything with them gets my money. And as I said on Twitter, if it's more of like what we got in the tragedy, sign me up. But for now, let's wait and see. And I'm still just trying to figure out what it's going to be about. But yeah, I thought I would just put those thoughts on there. And well, yeah, let me know yours in the comments. Are you excited for these newer shows? What are your thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett? And the other shows? Which one are you looking forward to? Which one are you not looking forward to? Do you think this should be a course correction to sort of redeem the sequel? And I don't mean that as like I say the sequel trilogy are like damnable. I mean, I've read the story to them, and I think they don't sound that good. But people probably said the same thing about the prequels. No, not probably, they did. And then the expanded universe and the Clone Wars show kind of made people soften on them a little. So maybe these new shows can do that. And if they succeed, kudos to them. From what little I've been able to stomach of reading about the story of the sequels, I don't like it. But if other people do, bully for them. And if this can explain away like all the inconsistencies and problems with the plot that people found with the sequels, that would be good. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours. And remember, the game was rigged from the start.